Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2 with the band Inches from Glory, and we've got a few days off this week to write some songs and do some maintenance stuff. Real quick request, I'm changing the process I use to actually record my videos, and I did it in the previous one, and I realized the bitrate might have been a little low. If you're noticing significant quality notes, could you make a quick comment? I trust my viewers in general. The Rising Star folks, though, tend to be a little more vocal, and I do kind of. If you notice anything like that, let me know. I've bumped up the bit rate again. I think it should be better, and I'm supposed to be getting a little bit better sound and actually a little bit better video at this point with some of the changes I made. It surprised me that the settings from the previous recording gave such a small file footprint. I really wasn't expecting that. It was like a 20% of the previous one of the same length. So that was a little weird. If you can help me out a little and let me know what you're seeing. I always run into the concern that I'm not seeing what you all are seeing, necessarily anyway, and that can be problematic in the long run. So I'd like to avoid any sort of, those kinds of issues, and I like my stuff to be quality. Well, okay, that all sounds really self-serving, but I'm not going to release something that I think is bad, but sometimes I don't notice. Maybe that's a better way of saying what I want to say. Sometimes I get distracted, not paying attention, and, just things happen. So we're going to go with conformity. We just did trust. No, we have enough points. I just didn't click right. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and write a song. We haven't written one in a few days. I don't have my list of song names, so this is going to be fun. We're going to wing it. Like we did in the old days before I printed out a list of song titles to use so that I could save time from, talking through, well, what should I call this one? Because that took like 20 minutes every time because, well, I can be an idiot sometimes. All right, here we go. So 35 there. We'll save lyrics for later. The other hard one, Kiwi's got a big one right there. Let's go with this though. Let's kind of try aim for a kind of a middling song as far as difficulty. I see a big 20 there. There's a couple of 25s. So we got some options here. Let's go with the 21st and see what we can do there. And we have a trust. Look at that. Trust song, 100 points. High energy. Let's go with high energy. And I don't know, let's, you know what? We're going to call this one so that there is absolutely no ambiguity or doubt. Trustful of what it's about. There we go. New song complete. Awesome. It's Monday, and that song is out there for us to practice. If you recall, we don't have a whole lot of new stuff. I think we'll go ahead and write one more. I really like to do them in threes because then you can level them all up at the same rate, and that works really, really well. We do have a gig Friday. It'd be great to have something ready to try on Friday that's new. Maybe we write another one today and then practice. Probably won't get there though, folks, because we'll need to hit everything again too. Well, let's see. We'll see what happens. Hope for the best. And we've got a pretty good set now anyway. If everything goes completely sideways, I think we'd be okay. 25s. We could do another big trust one. So we have confidence, we have conformity, we have homegrown, outcast. We don't have trust. We do have conformity up there with a 35. I don't normally approach the songs from the direction of the lyric type or the attitude initially. I usually I backdoor into it, right? I would find ones that can work, and I take that approach. You know what? We're going to merge some of these up because look at all those digitals that he has. We probably need to work on that. And then if we can find some threes, maybe we can't. Some ones. He does have ones. I would really like to find a 3 now of something. Doesn't have to be lyrics. There's probably a 3 floating around here somewhere. There's one right there. Kiwis. Okay, that gets it done. Forgot what I was saying, but I usually don't start with a lyric type. I like to have options and use the lyrics because we have such good numbers in lyrics. I like to use that to kind of try to close the gap to get to 100 points. And that tends to work pretty well for me. Let's go with this 16 as a starter, and we'll go with that. Can we get any decent melodies? We got some 25 melodies. Here's one. And again, if we can get a 35, that would be awesome. If not, we can try to back into it. There's a conformity one. I had a fun name. I don't know. Some people might not like this one. I have a friend that this phrase drives him crazy, and I don't know why. In my field, I work with a lot of folks that are from India. They're either in India when I work with them, or actually about 2/3 of them are here in the United States. But it isn't uncommon for the term "do the needful." When they say "do what's needed" or "do what's necessary," they'll say "do the needful." Please do the needful. I need to have my password reset. Please do the needful. That might be a way that it's used. And I have a friend that it just drives him crazy, and he's a really nice guy. But that just sets him off. So I literally use this term as much as I possibly can in his presence, just because it's not I want to be very clear. It's not a race thing or anything like that. The guy actually runs a ministry in India, but he just hates that saying. So, just kind of funny. Anyway, little poke at you there, Jason, in case you're paying attention. All right. What else do we want to do? Well, do we have artwork for a possible album release? I need to probably go to a print shop, which is right around the corner. We need to buy a new house soon, too. We don't quite have enough money to make that an easy purchase. We maybe should buy a second house somewhere else in the country. That's always a good way to go, too. Let's see what we have for CD covers. Do we have any saved? Like, no. Okay. I do this every time. Recall. Do you want to save? No, I don't want to save. New beginning. So we have the single template. We do have that. We could use for releasing any Kiwi songs. We haven't done that, right? There's a piece of me that's like, maybe we did that a couple of episodes ago, but I don't think we did. Whoops. Sorry about that, folks. That's my background. So that you don't have to see my really ugly desktop when I misclick. We do only have the one single and the one full length. And I'm pretty sure that single was... Yeah, here we go. That was the first one we released 2 months into our journey as a band. So that's not the one we're going to go after. We probably want we probably want something a little different. So I think what we'll do is, it'll probably end up maybe being an EP, depending on how this will work out. I'm first going to shrink this down and move it to the top. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole lot with color in that. I guess we could, I don't know. It's with my issues with color vision, it can get really ugly if I'm not careful. With that said, we never see these. So maybe I don't worry about it too much. I can't tell if that's red or green though, folks. That's kind of where I'm at. I think it's a red. But I don't know for sure. So if it's completely just, oh my God, what is he thinking? Please understand that it's not by choice. It's by ignorance. So you know what? Kiwi would like flowery letters. And we're just going to call this first one Songs by Kiwi. Why not? That's going to be the name of the album. We can change the element color there, kind of soften that up some, give it a little bit of, I don't know. I know there are some of you out there going, no. I think we're going to go super simple with this. That's going to be our songs by Kiwi that we're releasing. Maybe we should say first edition. I don't know. Oh, we could add a graphic. We haven't done anything like that yet. Flowers. A rose for my rose. There we go. And now I really wish, yeah, let's make it red because then it'll be the same color as the background, right? So let's just go with a very generic white, and we're going to downsize that. There we go. And we can add some text, first edition. Or volume 1, that would be the other way to do it. I'm going to go with first edition. And we're just going to leave it right. No, we're not going to do that. We are going to tell it to one-line it and make it much, much, much smaller. This is almost like an afterthought is my thought. It kind of is one of those things that sits here right in the corner. Yeah, just like that. So first we're going to save this one. This is going to be Kiwi songs. That way we can just recall this one as a template. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and buy this one. And might have just called it that on its own. That's fine. This looks good. So we now have an album cover ready to go for Kiwi. If and when we throw that album together. And you know what? Let's do this. Our house is right over here. That means Pinnell Studios is right over there. We're going to chauffeur ourselves down there. And let's say assemble CD. We're going to create a new CD called Songs by Kiwi 1 as a Roman numeral. And we're going to choose our cover art, Kiwi songs. There we go. Now we're not going to release the CD because that would be dumb. But what we can do is toss the 2 songs we have right now. I don't know. Should we re-record this one? We still don't play it at... The song quality is great. Our playability of it is only at 85%. I almost feel like we're just wasting recording time if we do that this time. So maybe what we do is maybe try to write one more Kiwi song, and we'll have 3 songs on this thing. And we'll come back to it. If we just basically exit out right now, when we come back in, it'll still be there for us. Come in here and we say assemble CD, songs by Kiwi, and there you go. It's still... Everything's stored for us, which is fantastic. What a great, great help that is. And we'll come over here. And there we go. Let's do some merging, and we'll see if we can write another Kiwi song. So we're going to focus on, guess what? Whoops. Kiwi parts. And I think to start... Let's focus on lyrics because she doesn't have a lot of those, and she does not have any really good lyric parts. So a secondary option is, let's see if we can get 35s everywhere for her. Give her the best chance of scoring high. If I do that, that'll leave 30 points, which is not enough to escalate it again. So if we do this, there is the outside chance that that happens, and then that happens, and at least we got another 15 out of it. Not perfect, but that helps. Now we can do some 10s. And we got to 20, that's all right. And then does she have some 3s or... Yeah, she's got a couple of 3s. Oh, that is a 36-3. I don't want to overload her with too many only large parts, but I think we've done a pretty good job of that. We've got some 20s here that can be bumped up eventually. I think we're okay with trying to keep that 36. That's a good one to keep. There we go. And then we're going to go over to construct song. I don't think we're going to have a lot of luck here. The moons have to align properly, and I'm not sure they will. Well, you know what? We might get there. Got a couple of options here. I mean, that gets us to 85. Gets us a 95. Can we do a little better than that? What if we choose this one and that one? Holy cow, we got 100% technical song for Kiwi. Digital. And we're going to call this one Kanban Board. We're going to call this Kanban Board because I don't have my list of song names. So, yeah, I can't find it right now. I'm going to have to do another one, I guess. I don't have it in front of me. I guess you're not having to hear the paper rustle, so that's a good part for you all, right? And this will not be ready for the weekend. I didn't take that into account very well, but that's all right. We will have it for our West Coast swing. Actually, we've got a couple of shows in Kansas, I think, too. So that'll be just fine. Let's go ahead and, well, we always like to merge if we can. So we'll go back to everybody, get this done quickly. Try to replenish some of her things that can be built up. Here's some 15s. There's some 20s. We'll take the 10 over the 8 down to 10 points. So we can do some 3s and 1s. I'm not seeing any right now. Here's some 1s. Now we can do some 3s and save a couple of points for 1s. We have a homegrown and a trust for Chad. Any 1s going once? Come on, 1s. There we go. All done. And we will practice. We're going to have practice everything. As you can see, this one's starting to fall off. A few of them are. So we will select all, practice all. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize we already had 2 songs. That's right. We were going to just do the practicing. Oh, well, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. Again, I think I'm going to start reminding myself, don't wait till the last day to practice everything up, because that would have been disastrous here. So we have to travel to Wichita. 448 miles. So I think the limit is 400 miles is what it considers a day. That'd be my guess. If we click here, we would arrive today at 350 miles. So somewhere between 350 and 440 is the limit. Probably track that down eventually, but there we go. We are in Wichita. Look at that. We're the top of the bill, the billing there. And so let's see what they are interested in. We get all 12 songs, 3,400 folks. We're going to go with 1,600 showing up again. I don't think we're doing incredibly well in Kansas. So the good news is they don't hate anything that we're doing. In fact, they like homegrown. That's good. We can play a couple of those again. In anxiety, well, we don't have any comfort songs. Oh, we do have a couple of comfort songs, but I don't think we have them right now. So that's good. At the very least, they balance out to neutral because you have an up and a down, and they don't tend to know what to do with those. So these are good. It can make it a really technical broadcast. Hometown Heart does okay. Maybe we drop the order of things. Put in Hometown Heart, and it will end up right about there. Kanban Board is not ready. Prom Queen, they would like that. These Old Roads, they would like that. I think we'll want to play that one. We knew that Baud Rate wasn't doing great. We knew that Take My Hand wasn't doing great. Let's toss that one here. I do want to swap. We know Broken Photographs does fantastic. So we're going to swap that out. Again, just trying to get a read on some numbers again. Let's go with that setup. Here we go. $1,664. I got it right this time. I was hoping for more, if I'm being honest, but that's all right. Inches from Glory with the dragon. I can't remember why I chose the dragon, but no matter. Here we go. T-shirt sales, 221. Oh, all right. We'll take it. 68 copies of our album. That is pretty darn good. No new songs were played, so not a whole lot of information to glean from that, but Broken Photographs, again, doing very well. So let's look at this. Baud Rate, only 12% there. Baud Rate is definitely not a favorite. The Battery song, 15, that's not bad. Hometown Heart did 13, and for a slow song, that's pretty good. These Old Roads did only 13 as well. So baud rate honestly wasn't, drastically behind. They didn't love Order in the Chaos. That's all right. They don't have to love every song. It's okay. Where do we go next? Because I feel like maybe there's a gap. Oh, we go home. And our next run starts in San Diego in a week. A little under a week. So let's head back to St. Louis. Okay, the van got a flat tire. Well, we're going to want to deal with that while we're thinking about it. And I think we're going to end up flying out, but we're going to need to see how long that's going to take. So let's get the van fixed first. I don't think the condition of the van has anything to do with how long things take, but I could be wrong. And then let's go to the map. And what are our options for getting to... It is indeed San Diego. I just want to make sure I wasn't like missing something with, the line passes through here first. So if we were to try to go there, we could get there tomorrow if we fly, or it would take till Monday. So it's a 2-day trip. So practice, refresh. We're going to end up flying. It's going to be a little more expensive, but that's okay. And it would just take us 1 day to get there. 1 extra day. So we would have to leave here. So practice to get those songs up, practice everything. We're in good shape. We can get all 3 songs ready for the road trip. And I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, it's Saturday. We'll go ahead and work 1 more day here. It's going to basically be a practice day. And... oh, you know what I didn't do? Let's come out here to the song list. Kanban Board is a Kiwi song. All Kiwi all the time. We want to remember that. We'll eventually want to record that. We'll have some times. We can maybe do a recording on one of these, you can't do it on those nights. We can do it on one of those Friday nights. We'll get it done. We have no idea what reception in Florida is going to be like. And let's go ahead and let's do the Needful here. Oh, Rebellion. We definitely want one of those. We don't have any of those yet, I don't think. Unfortunately, not enough points to double bounce that one. Go with that. 4 points left. Here's one of them. Well, 2 of them. And one more one. Get some of those digitals out of the way. There we go. All right, over to practice. We're just going to practice these. And we should see those go up, I think, 33 points. So 37 is what I'm hoping for. Only fell 1 position. That's pretty good. 36. We're going to be just a little light. But when we practice everything, it should catch them up. So we're going to call that a week. And we're going to call that an episode. I want to thank you for joining me. The band is Inches from Glory out of St. Louis, Missouri, and we're having a lot of fun with this. We're wrapping up our first year in this playthrough and looking forward to seeing where this goes after this. We have run into a lot of bad luck, just not getting any hit songs yet, and that's a little unusual. But hopefully our luck changes as we move through into the next year. Thanks for your time this time, and until next time, fair travels.